I'm John Beaudin from Rock History Music, and today we profile a newer artist. She's been doing it a long time, but you might not know her name. Amanda Dean. I'm John Beaudin from Rock History Music. First of all, I should point out that it's Amanda's birthday today, so just send out pleasant thoughts to Amanda. You know, when I saw her, I met her through the Toto people. There are a few Toto gals that we're going to feature on our channel. Jenny King's another one. And she'll be on in the next couple of weeks. But I saw these girls performing either Toto songs or in Toto groups. And I reached out to them and said, man, people should know who you are. Amanda Dean is from Vancouver. She's been singing since she's been, well, like this high, way down there. And we wanted to give her a platform just to celebrate how great she is. She just learned to play the guitar like a year or 2 years ago. And she's freaking amazing for someone who's only been playing for that time. But really, we have her on this channel because of her singing. She's got some new singles out and a new album on the way, and we preview some of it today. When did you get the music bug? What was it that started for you?
I was around 5, I guess, and I was a big fan of, well, my mom was a huge fan of, like, soul music, Motown. My dad was a fan of the Beatles, Led Zeppelin, a lot of rock, so really got the best education, really, as far as, you know, great music. When I was 5, I was listening to a Stevie Wonder song, and I just went over. We had this old, like, organ piano type thing in the corner of the room, and I just went over and managed to find the chords somehow and just played it. And then I started singing, and my mom came in, and, oh, wow, like, she was, okay. So then we had all the neighbors around.
Of course.
So, yeah.
Did you ever get formal training, or did you just learn on this, you know, as you go?
Well, I had vocal training when I was 11, just for technique and, you know, power and stuff like that. I went to school. I went to music school, learned other stuff.
I saw the footage of you on stage with Toto. Pretty impressive.
Thank you. That was a dream come true.
So how did that happen?
I was during sound check at the gig in Philadelphia, the last one of the tour. I basically asked, and they said yeah. And I went up and did it and sang Hold the Line, a little bit of Hold the Line with them. Thank you so much, guys. That was
very good.
And it was amazing. I was super nervous about it, but I kind of had to put myself in a place where if I'd have thought about what I was actually doing, maybe I would have fallen to pieces. But I'm like, I'm on a stage. This is what I'm used to doing. So I just went out and did it. But I had a moment, and I looked to my right, and there's like my guitar hero, Steve Lukather, right next to me. So then I kind of went, oh, okay, this is like really, really surreal. And that was a moment that it was amazing. It was like one of the best moments of my life.
I think that you did something that a lot of artists won't do. You asked.
I think that the secret to life is if there's something that you want to do, you have to go all out and just, ask. And the answer can be yes or it can be no. And if it's no, then at least you tried, right?
Yeah. Yeah, well, I remember when I got into radio in the 80s and we were talking to musicians, and the thing about Canadian musicians, there used to be this line we'd use, and musicians use it a lot. They say, in Canada, you can go gold and ride the bus. A lot of successful artists, when we asked them or got to know them, we'd realize, and maybe it's that first deal thing, because the first deal usually isn't a good deal for a musician, that they go, well, I don't have a lot of money. Like, I'm just, and some musicians were their worst enemies. But the thing about going out there and making roads for yourself is a difficult thing. And musicians who can't afford publicists would say, oh, I can't do it because of that. And then I'm sure you'd be the first person to say, well, then do it yourself.
Yeah, and these times we have to. I mean, the thing is, like, you just have to, you have to just do it. You have to just feel the fear and do it anyway, to quote a good book that I once read. But, you just have to put yourself out there. And, if you do that with a lot of heart and soul, maybe you'll be successful. I don't know. I'm still working.
Baby, I just want to say you give me every reason to stay. You are the song that I want to play over and over, over and over, over and over
Tell me about the songs you've been working on and how this project came to fruition.
I started with one song that I wrote. I mean, it's always been my dream to make an album. So I wrote one song, and then, I know a lot of musicians in this town. So I asked my good friend, Sean Susi, I need a drummer for this project. And I know you have a studio and, you engineer projects. Would you help me? And he said, yeah. And then I started from there, and then it got bigger and bigger. And then, I started writing more songs and co-writing with people, and until we finished the first song that we recorded. It turned out really well, and then I wrote more. We kept on doing it, and now we have I have an album's worth, at least, if not more, of songs that to record. So we're just in the process of doing that.
Tell me about the first tune.
The first tune is called Wolf, and it's a rock song. It's about the times of today and how people are divided. And how we need, one of the lyrics is, we need to band like a pack. And what that means is sometimes we need to stand together and, just stand up, be strong. So it's really about coming together instead of being divided.
Tell me about the first time you went on stage. Do you remember that?
My dad had, he was the manager for a center for disabled people, and they used to have a Christmas party every year, and they'd have entertainment, and one of his friends was doing the entertainment. He got me up to sing, and I sang.
What'd you sing?
I think I sang the song from Fame, actually. I was really young. I was super young.
Oh, good for you.
It was yeah, she can sing. I think she's going to be a singer. So
what do you think? Were you 10? Were you 5? What were you?
Younger, yeah. I think I might have been 7 or 6 or something.
Oh, my God.
I can't really remember. It's been a long time, but yeah.
What about all of a sudden we've got this lady. She sings like Ann Wilson. She plays, and you can play guitar really well. How did that start?
I don't know why I didn't start that a long time ago. I've played keys since I was 5. but mainly that and singing. Like singing was always my main instrument. And I've always, because no one in my family played guitar, it was weird. So I never really got, although the music that I listened to, I was introduced to it that way. There wasn't a guitar laying around for me to pick up, not an electric guitar at least. So, and acoustic's great, but it's more electric for me. I really connect with that. So there wasn't one laying around. So I never got to do that. But I always had a passion for the sound of it, if that makes sense. And then, yeah, I guess I just never did it. And then a couple years ago, I decided, I really want to learn to play guitar. So when my mind goes somewhere like that and I really decide to do something, then I decide to do it. So yeah, I went and bought a guitar and an electric guitar and learned to play. It's not even been 2 years.
That's amazing. Because you got such great response when you did that thing. I think it was in your living room. I think you were just playing around.
Yeah.
That was amazing.
Thank you. Yeah.
Who are the ladies who influenced you? Who are as far as female vocalists?
Gladys Knight. Obviously, my very first love was R&B. I love rock, like you wouldn't believe too, though. But because of my mom being such a huge fan of soul music, Gladys Knight, Aretha Franklin, that kind of thing. And then I learned to harmonize by listening to the Beatles, actually, but also, R&B. The groups of the time, the Four Tops, Diana Ross and the Supremes, stuff like that. And then, growing up, of course, in high school, the powerhouse vocals, there was a time when there was, Celine Dion and Mariah Whitney and all of that, which of course I love.
You don't hit your chest like Celine, do you? I don't want to hear that.
I hit my chest like Celine.
I don't want to hear that.
No, I don't.
The Toto love, man, when did that start?
The Toto love started before I even realized it. That's a funny story. I have a cute story to tell you. So when I was around, I would say probably 5 or 6. Again, I keep going to that age. I don't know why, but I guess stuff happened when I was that age. I was obsessed with Michael Jackson's Thriller album, like a lot of people. And we had MTV at the time, so it was around the time that it was after it came out. It was after that. But Thriller was still on rotation on MTV. So I had, in my closet, I had this little red raincoat, like jacket. And it looked nothing like Michael Jackson's jacket whatsoever, apart from the fact that it was red. So I used to run to my closet, grab the jacket, put it on, and then I would sing and dance around my living room. And the only thing that this jacket had in common was the fact that it was red, but in my little, 5 or 6-year-old mind, I was Michael Jackson, so that was hilarious. So I didn't realize at the time that Toto were pretty much the house band on Thriller album. So, and Quincy Jones is my favorite producer of all time. I think is a genius. So it started with that. It's something about the way everything was put together. The songs and the instrumentation of it, and that really, it was just great. And then later on, obviously, I heard Toto 4, and it went from there. What can I say? And then.
Do you know if Luke has ever seen your guitar stuff?
I played the theme from Dune in my living room, just messing around, right? I did a video. I played it. It got posted to the Toto fan page America, and he did comment on it. He did say, he said it sounds great. So that made my day.
No kidding. This album, if it gets in the right hands, how it goes with music. There's a lot of luck involved because a lot of talented singers never make it. But what are you hoping for?
At the moment, all I'm focusing on right now is to make the best final product that I possibly can, to put my heart and soul into it, and hopefully people like it. That's all I'm concentrating on. I would love for it to go somewhere, but who knows, So I just have to focus on making really good music, and we'll see what happens.
What other styles do you have on there? Is it a mixed bag?
Yeah, it's a mixed bag. I really like that. I think they're cohesive as a whole. There's certain things, certain production values, certain things that will tie it all together. But I really like an album. I didn't want to write and record the same song 11 times or 10 times or whatever. I wanted it to be diverse. It can be. I mean, you can have certain things in there that you have to have a thing that's your stick, right? You have to have something where people will hear it and go, oh, that's this artist, you definitely want that, but I really don't want it to be, the same song with the same formula, with the same chord progression, the same kind of style, just 10 or 11 times. I want it to be more diverse. I really like that. That's one of the things I do like about bands like Toto, is that they kind of do a lot of different genres, but it's still them. You can still hear that it's them. So same kind of thing, right? So on there's the first 2 songs that I've released. I've released one already called Stepping Stone.
On the river of your heart, didn't wanna be alone, and you knew that from the start. It took a few blows from your life's road. You could never own the path you chose. That's the stepping stone. Now I'm stepping on over
I have another one called Again. I would say that they are the most commercial and radio-friendly songs on the album. So I released those first.
What's the most embarrassing thing that ever happened to you on stage, which is what I'm asking you right now?
There was a time I was a real fan of these wedge-heeled boots. And I wore them on stage, and I had a mad moment during the gig where I thought it was and I was a lot younger, right? So I thought it was really funny. I thought it'd be a really good idea to jump over the keyboard. So the keyboard was set up pretty high. So I thought, this is a really fun idea to jump over the keyboard. So I jumped over the keyboard, and I landed it too, absolutely landed it. And then my foot actually landed on a cable, and it rolled underneath me, and I tore the ligament in my ankle, and it was so painful. I kid you not, I almost passed out. I had the great, when you see one of those, the old tube TVs when it goes to the speckly gray, my vision went like that. And apparently it was because I was just about to pass out, but I didn't. And I'd torn clean through the ligaments. I was in a wheelchair for a number of weeks after that, and then on crutches. And I still did gigs like that. It was hilarious.
How far into the gig were you when that happened?
Almost the end, thankfully. Almost at the end. I think I continued if I wasn't in a good state.
Oh my God.
So it was kind of embarrassing. It was in front of about 200 people too. But it's my fault for being so stupid.
Do you give me some of the top albums of all time? Because give me 5. You got to give me 5.
Okay. So 2 I've mentioned. Thriller, obviously. Toto 4. Led Zeppelin 4. It's always 4. I don't know. They're great. Abbey Road, and I'm thinking of a Stevie Wonder album, but there's too many to choose from. So it's got to be Songs in the Key of Life.
Again, happy birthday, Amanda Dean. You're an amazing human being and a real nice lady and a true talent. She's from Vancouver. She is on Spotify if you want to listen to some of her music. It's just starting to get on there. And did we mention happy birthday yet? Jenny King is our next newer artist that you may not know. Coming up in a couple of weeks. We met them all through the Toto sites. So now and then we're going to bring in some newer artists, people that really stopped me in my tracks when I first heard them. Make sure you comment on our video, subscribe to our channel, and share our videos. If you want to pick up a t-shirt, we have like about 25 new designs. It's the first link in the description of this video. Use the code name ROCK to get 15% off a t-shirt today. I'm John Beaudin from Rock History Music. Take care of yourself.